Monitoring social distancing by smartphone app in the effect of COVID-19. Social distancing measures are necessary for many infectious diseases that spreads through droplets and microdroplets. According to WHO, the preventive measure for COVID-19 is to follow strict social distancing. It is not easy to enforce social distance easily in a crowded region, and people often not maintain sufficient distance with neighbors. Driven by the need for energy-efficient and cost-effective social distancing monitoring, this paper proposes Smart Social Distancing, SSD, mobile application-based monitoring, which can predict the social distancing between two people assisted by mobile Bluetooth and mobile camera. SSD involves two major steps to predict the social distance. First, the pedestrian in the video frames is identified with the aid of deep learning, DL, and in the second step, distance between the two pedestrian is estimated through image processing techniques. The application can also be configured to calculate the distance using Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE, by calculating its received signal strength. The application demonstrates 85% accuracy on predicting the social distancing and alert the user using beep sound or alert message. Keywords: computer vision, Bluetooth Low Energy, machine learning, Android app development, social distancing. Introduction. On December 31, 2019, a number of pneumonia cases of unspecified etiology in Wuhan was notified to the WHO China country office. But the influenza identified as COVID-19 quickly spread to many countries, and on March 11, 2020, the WHO declared the outbreak a global pandemic. 1. Influenza outbreaks present a possible threat to humans because of their ability to rapidly adapt and impact people who are immunologically weaker. Readiness for pandemic flu is therefore a key step in response to these outbreaks too. In this regard, responding to the current COVID-19 pandemic and planning for possible pandemics needs critical preparation. When there is no vaccine supply, is to apply social distancing, quarantine measures along with rapid delivery of medical supplies such as personal protective equipment, antivirus treatments, etc. Some of the measures used in the past, as in the case of Spanish flu of 1918 or the recent H1N1 pandemic of 2009, was to wearing masks, maintaining personal hygiene, social distancing, contact tracing and isolation of infected individuals helped in containing the spread of the influenza to a larger extent. Thus, social distancing is a crucial measure to contain the spread of influenza outbreaks in a region. Moreover, according a recent study, 3 assessed that one-time measures would not be adequate to reduce the occurrence of COVID-19, with the current critical care facilities of United States. According to the study, it is indicated that these measures may be required till 2022. Especially in countries that lacks adequate public health and testing resources, social distancing or physical distancing measure helps in flattening the transmission curve, thus aiding in reduction of burden of the overwhelmed critical care units. Therefore, an one-time or single-duration social distancing measure does not suffice to avoid intensive care resources from being overrun by the COVID-19 epidemic, as it retains enough of the population to be affected by the rebound in transmission, after the end of this pandemic cycle. 4. It is estimated that the lower bound of the economic benefit of social distancing measure in United States is approximately $8 trillion, which is greater than a third of its GDP. Moreover, the non-monetized benefits of social distancing include quality treatment for non-COVID-19 patients, short lockdown periods, buying time for developing a vaccine, and strengthening the health sector resources. 5. Therefore, it is necessary to encourage appropriate social distancing. The proposed system has two methods for monitoring social distancing and alerting the smartphone users. The first method was developed using smartphone camera, which will get the feed and processed with on-device deep learning algorithm deployed in the mobile to predict the social distancing. The implementation and result of the surveillance method are discussed in below sections. The second method measures the social distance between two smartphones using Bluetooth Low Energy technique. When the user scans for nearby devices, the received signal strength indicator, RSSI, value is received during the scan callback. The distance between the other device can be calculated using the received RSSI value. The formula and algorithm used for distance calculation is discussed in below sections. If the user violates social distancing, the app is designed to alert the users by a beep sound and displaying alert message. The experiment was conducted on various places such as college entrance, office premises, government office, cafeteria, and so on. 85% of accuracy is obtained on detecting the real-time social distance by these two methods. The rest of the paper is organized as follows. Section 2 explains the background and literature survey of pedestrian prediction and calculate distance between two objects in the 2D image and Bluetooth techniques. And Section 3 explains the proposed system of monitoring app used to predict the social distancing and various algorithm used for the prediction. Section 4 explains implementation and results for the developed application. Finally, in Section 5, summarizes the research conclusion and applicable feature work. Related works. In this section, 3 types of techniques are reviewed which is used in the proposed system: A. Pedestrian prediction method, B. Distance calculation by image processing method, C. Bluetooth distance estimation method. A. Pedestrian prediction method. Various methods have been developed by various authors for pedestrian detection in both 2D and 3D image space. Jiankaijian et al. 6 developed pedestrian motion detection in 3D image since the human motion depends on 3D space. The authors developed twin deep neural network based on pose estimation. In 7, multitask deep learning with no action recognition is used to estimate the time for pedestrian road crossing. This detection system is developed to avoid road accidents based on movement of people who crossing the roads. Quintero et al. 8 proposed Gaussian dynamic models and activity recognition for detection pedestrian in order to avoid roadside accidents. The proposed method is developed from multiple features of pedestrian activity such as walking, stopping, starting, and standing. Redder et al. 9 studied pedestrian prediction using deep neural network which can be used in traffic management and to avoid collision in autonomous vehicle. The authors trained the model using monolithic neural network via reverse reinforcement learning. Choi et al. 10 developed deep learning-based pedestrian trajectory considering the location relationship between the people. The displacement between neighboring frames for every pedestrian in the sequential video frames are calculated. The motion information is encoded using LSTM, low short-term memory, and uses MLP, multilayer perceptron, to map the location. B. Distance calculation by image processing method. The distance between two objects in 2D image can be calculated by different image processing techniques and mathematical formulations like Euclidean and Manhattan distance formula. Johnny Singh et al. 11 developed distance calculation of an object in 3D image using stereo camera. The distance of the object is calculated using Euclidean distance between centroid of the bounding box and the camera, and they obtain the result with 2.08 average error. Zhongbei 12 proposed a method to detect pedestrian and distance estimation using smartphone-based thermal camera which can run in low-light environment. The detector was created using multi-stage cascade learning, and distance is estimated by calculating the position of the pedestrian in the 2D thermal image. On their experiment they obtained 91% accuracy in detecting pedestrian and 85% in distance estimation. Chong-sun et al. 13 in their paper discussed distance estimation between two persons using latent variables by minimizing a distance function. They developed latent metric learning method using effective metric matrix. See Bluetooth distance estimation method. Bluetooth low energy, BLE, is a low-cost, lost-power portable technology which is growing exponentially. Lam and Shi 14 in their paper discussed on the distance estimation of the moving object using BLE. They received signal strength indicator, RSSI, from the noisy environment and overcome by using Kalman filter, KF, to smooth the RSSI measurement. The filtered RSSI value is trained by support vector machine using nonlinear kernel function to estimate the distance. The mobile users received limited rate for distance estimation and there is some delay on calculating the distance. Yoon et al. 15 used BLE and ultrasound signal to calculate the distance between the device. The received RSSI value are not accurate due to various environment factors. For estimating distance, the authors introduced propagation constants estimation based on time difference of arrival between BLE and ultrasound signals. The estimated error increases as the distance increases in real time. They obtained distance estimation with 10 cm average error distance. Yuan and Chang 16 proposed indoor positioning system based on RSSI value from the BLE beacon. The authors used weighted multi-point algorithm with cellular network assistance for calculating real-time distance and achieved error rate of 0.8%. 3. Social distance monitoring. For measuring social distance, 2 methods are proposed. One is using mobile camera which can process the video frames and calculate the distance. Next method uses smartphone Bluetooth low energy BLE, Bluetooth low energy, hardware and calculates distance by its signal strength. Explained step-by-step process of both the methods in the below section. A. Camera surveillance method. The smartphone camera captures the video frames to track the social distancing. Image rendered frame by frame are passed in loop in the image detection algorithm. Image processing are done for noise removal and passed to the pedestrian trained model. The outcome image will draw a rectangular bounding box when any persons are identified in the image. The classified image with person is fed to calculate distance using Euclidean algorithm. The whole working process of the system is explained in the Fig 1. Predicting pedestrian. The pedestrian prediction training model is trained by TensorFlow environment. The following steps are required in order to train the model. Gathering images and labeling data. TF records creation. Training and exporting model. For gathering the data set, the images are downloaded from INRIA person data set and Penfuden database, which different image formats are converted to JPEG format. Maintained 80% of images to training and 20% to testing folder. The TensorFlow needs more number of images in various background to train the model with good precision. System flow and accuracy. After downloading the data set, the labeling of all the images are done by creating a rectangle box on the target object using the tool called label img. The TF record file is TensorFlow format used for storing a sequence of binary records. After labeling process and saving all the image rectangle box as XML file, the T file are generated for both train and test folder by exporting all the XML files into CSV file. With the help of TensorFlow API, the CSV file is converted into TF record file. The transfer learning is used for training the model, which is technique of applying already trained model for training another model which can take less time to train and yields better results. For example, knowledge gained for training cars can be transferred to recognized trucks. The single shot detection, SSD, with MobileNet pre-trained model is used to train with COCO dataset called SSD model. Once the model is trained with above configuration, the model is evaluated with COCO evaluation technique by downloading COCO API. Fig 3 is the sample image used for training the pedestrian model. Single shot detection, SSD, is the object detection algorithm in real time. The faster RCNN uses region proposal network to create a bounding boxes and utilize the box to classify object. Pedestrian result. For distance calculation in image, the center point of every bounding boxes from the object detection result are obtained and distance between the two midpoints are calculated. The distance are in pixels value. For real-time determination of distance value, the pixels value are processed with some image processing technique. The whole pixel distance is divided with average human width in order to get exact distance in real values considering different zoom levels of camera. Once the distance are calculated, a line is drawn between the two persons for indication. The green color indicated the two persons maintains the safe distance and red color indicates the two persons are at risk. The Fig 7 shows the mobile app with persons who maintain safe and unsafe distance. This experiment was conducted in public places, where people usually roams at high density, and identified the social distance prediction is about 85% accurate as real values. Distance calculation result. Bluetooth module result. For distance calculation using Bluetooth Low Energy, developed another mobile app feature which has option to turn on social distance monitoring. When user turns on, the scanning for BLE will be triggered where the device discovery for other Bluetooth device will take place. Once the new device is identified, the device details like UUID, RSSI value are identified in the device discovery callback. With the help of RSSI signal strength, the distance are calculated using the formula. The app is installed in two devices. When they are brought to closer distance with less than 1 meter, alerts are displayed in both the phones. The Fig 8 shows the pop-up between two Android devices which are less than 1 meter. The implemented mobile application estimates the distance calculation of the proposed system on two Android phones keeping with measured distance, say 1, 2, and 3 meters. The estimated value has the error value between 10 to 20 centimeters on average comparing to its real-time value. The error value increases because the RSSI value have more fluctuation when the devices are at more distance due to environmental distractions. The table 2 shows the results obtained from various phone which returns the approximate value of real-time distance. The different values of RC value are collected and determine its average value for final distance calculation. The values vary some device to device based on the hardware of Bluetooth signal receiver. The Fig 9 shows the comparative graph of actual distance and estimated distance in various mobile distance. BLE distance violation alert in two Android devices. Conclusion and future work. The paper presents two methods of monitoring social distancing for smartphone users. In camera surveillance method, pedestrian detection is implemented using deep learning algorithm and distance between two persons using Euclidean formula. In Bluetooth distance calculation, calculated the real-time distance by receiving its signal strength between two Android devices. It is cost-effective approach since the system is implemented in mobile app people don't. Distance measurement for various mobiles. Want to spend cost for other infrastructure for surveillance and monitoring. Develop this model in Android mobile. As a future work it will be extended in iOS environment as well for supporting iPhone users. As discussed, the smartphone camera are capable of covering only small distance. The first approach can be leveraged in all public surveillance camera for social distance monitoring. Acknowledgements. The author would like to thank Turi Nathan G5 organization for downloading the transfer learning model from their GitHub link. The authors would also like to extend our thanks to Madras Institute of Technology Campus, Chennai, and their staffs for their help and support in making this work possible during this pandemic situation.